In the last 14 years, I've sold hundreds of homes all over the city. You know, I really get frustrated with market reports that talk about the average sale prices of the homes going up in value. You see, it may only mean that people are either buying more expensive homes or the fact that 5 mega houses sold last month and increased the market average or the statistic. That's why I created this special report where I talk about the average sales price per square foot. To see if the average sale price per square foot goes up in value, that means people are paying more for houses. Secondly, I like to look at the inventory supply, meaning I like to look at how many homes are available now in different areas versus what sold last month. If you're a buyer, it'd be great to know that if there's 2 times more homes available than sold last month, then you're in a great position to negotiate your best price. Secondly, if you notice as a seller that there's half as many homes available now as sold last month, well, you might be in a good position to get a great price.
To help make our stats a little bit more relevant to you, I'm going to divide up the city into different quadrants. We're going to do the inner city, the northwest section, the southwest, and what we're talking is west of Sarcee, because we would consider anything east of Sarcee to be inner city. The deep south, which would be Fish Creek, Chaparral, Mahogany, all of these south areas. And lastly, we'll do the northeast. At the end of the video, we'll go over the whole market so you can compare how your numbers match up with the overall. So when you look at the inner city in April, we had 343 sold properties in the inner city. And you can see here that as opposed to last month, actually we're down from last month. March we had more sales in that same area exactly. And you notice that the sales price on the average sale price was actually lower, the average sale price, than it was last month. But having said that, the average sales price per square foot is actually up. And that might have been created by this home here that's sold at a high price per square foot. But price per square foot really tells the story because it tells people if you're actually getting more money per square foot for the house instead of looking at average sale prices, which can skew the average as it did here. Now we look at how that compares to last year. Last year in the same time period, we sold 352. So pretty much very consistent amount of sales in the month of April. But the difference in the story here is the average sale price. Now, the average sale price last year was $698, and the sales price per square foot was $459, or the median where most people buy was $435 as opposed to $472. So we're definitely up on our average sales price per square foot. Now, when you look at how that compares to our supply of listings, you can see here that we've got almost 2 months supply of active listings currently in May, and those listings are priced at $561 a foot, where the sales were really at $503. So they're the higher price group, and also they are the larger homes as opposed to our average square footage was $1,566, and our median price was $503 is where our active listings are. And the actual sales price is $472. So it tells you that the homes that are left on the market are probably a little bit higher priced than where the buyers are really buying. Now we look at inventory supply. It's important to notice what's selling and where the heavy weight of sales is. Now the dark blue line represents units sold. The light blue is what's available. And as you can see that we actually have more demand for homes that are priced between $500 and $550. As a matter of fact, the sales last month were higher than what's currently available on the market, between about $450 to $550. We've got a situation here where we don't have enough homes to buy. But as you go up in price, you'll find that we've got an exceeding amount of homes to buy. When you look at 62 available in the 800,000 range and only 18 sold. And when you go above 1.5 million, you find out that 120 available and yet just 16 sales. So on the higher end, it changes completely. So when people say the market's hot, yes, the market is good and it's never been a better time to sell. But when you're in the higher price group, you'll find that the situation is a little bit different. So now we'll move on to the northwest section. Now moving on to the northwest, 452 sold listings in April, and those were priced at $527,000 on average. And when we look at how that compared to March, we can see that we actually sold a few more homes, 439 opposed to 452. Now let's look at the pricing. So the pricing per square foot was actually a little bit higher last month than the previous month. And the average sale price, or let's look at the median sale price where most people are buying. We're looking at 482, it went up to 493. So there's some price increase there just within 1 month. Now, if we want to look at how that was last year, we're almost the same amount of sales as we were last year for that same section. 450 to 452. But the difference would be in our price per square foot. So you can see that houses are selling for about $30 a square foot more this year than last year, and the average sale price is or for the median group is 448 opposed to 493 this year. So market definitely up much higher, and our days on market are 15, and last year they're 18. So that's about the same, really. But when we look at it from a supply point of view, we can see here that we got 564 listings, and of course that's a little bit over a month's supply. So we actually don't have very many listings up in the Northwest for sale. When we look at how they're priced at $342 a square foot, and on the average, and the sale price was $323. And when you look at the list price, the list to ask, we're looking at here that really it's very, very close, which means houses are selling very close to their list prices. The homes that are currently available on the market are a little bit larger square footage, and they're also priced higher per square foot. But isn't that the way it always is? Now, when you look at this from a perspective of different price groups, and I went every 50,000 up, and then of course above $1 million went up every 100,000, you can see that the blue line represents April sales, and the light blue line represents what's currently available today. And as you can see here, in this price group of 400 to 450, and even 350 to 400, in this area right here, currently there's less available on the market than sold last month, which means that there's a bit of a void here for properties to buy. But everywhere else, going a little bit higher, there's an excess of properties to buy. Now we're going to move to the southwest section. We're talking west of Sarcee, Aspen, these areas, Signal Hill, and so forth. When we look at the southwest section, 97 sold listings in April, and how that was compared to last month, 97. And you think, well, geez, I had to double check this because I thought maybe I'd done the same thing twice, but no. These numbers are different. And when you look at last month, we had an average sale price of $834, and this month was $794. But our average price per square foot is actually up, which means houses are selling for more money than were the previous month, and they're selling in about the same amount of time. The median group is selling a little bit slower than it was last month, but our average sales price per square foot now is $366, and the median where most people buy is $336. And our median group list price is about $700,000 in that area. And when we look at the how that compares to last year we actually sold more houses, 120 sold listings in that month. And when we look about the prices, were, the median group was 307, the house was 2,100 square feet, which it is now. So these numbers haven't changed a lot. And but on the average, people were paying 320 a square foot, so definitely up. But the last year, the average sale price was also lower than $794 compared to $714 last year. Okay, so when we look at the how we compare that to the amount of listings that are currently available, we have over a month's supply of 2 months supply of properties in the area. Those are priced at $736 a square foot, and they are as opposed to $366. Wow, that's quite high. And the median is actually $399, which is much closer. So we have some really high-end properties out there in the southwest section that are making some pretty crazy numbers. And those are, on average, they're 2,700 square feet, and the buyer's really looking for a 2,100 square foot home. So these some of these monster houses are making the averages really go up. The median, though, where most people are buying, not so far off at $399, $76 a square foot. But what's left out there is the higher price stuff. It doesn't move quite as well as the lower price stuff that's out there. Now, when you're comparing different price groups on the lower end up until $1 million, I've got a $50,000 spread between each price group, and then as you go above that, I've got a $100,000 spread. And the dark blue line representing the sold properties, and the light blue representing what's active and available now, sold properties being in April. So you can see here that in the 400 to 450 price group, there's actually not as many homes as available as what sold last month. And same goes with the 550 to 600,000 group. So when you look at that, you can see that the higher price groups, of course, there's lots more available. And when you get above 1.5 million, you'll find up there that there's 53 properties available, and only 3 sales. So just real high amount of supplies of high-end homes up in the over in the Southwest. And now we'll move to the Deep South. Evergreen, Silverado, Cranston, Mackenzie-Town, all these South areas. Okay, so lots of sales down in the Deep South, 531 sold listings, and at an average of $296 a foot. Those were an average sale price of $488,000, and they just under 1,700 square feet. When we look at how that compares to last month, we got 473 sales last month, and they were priced at $292 a square foot on average, and the median was $277 a square foot. When we look at the sales price, average sale price was actually down a little bit compared to this month. So it's interesting that these numbers don't always follow each other. Now, when we look at last year's sales and how that compares, we can see that 451 sold listings down in that area. So sales are definitely up, and the price per square foot $274.34 compared to last year, and $257 a square foot on the median price where most people are buying. But the sales price is up about $25,000 compared to last year, a little bit more. So when we look at this from an inventory supply point of view, we can see that we got 560 active listings on the market, and with 531 sales last month, that means we really only have a little bit more than a month's supply. Now, what's interesting too is that these homes are priced at $328,000. They're bigger than the average sale, which is meaning that they're about 200 square feet bigger, and they're priced a little bit higher. So that's the higher priced homes that are left on the market. And of course, we got one here at 4.9 million, which might make our averages come up a little bit. And as you can see here, their Deep South is very, very popular. As you can see here, 111 properties sold in this price group between 400 and 450, and of course that's the sales for April. And then what we currently have available, there's a lot less available than sold last month. So that means there's a decreasing inventory in that price group. As we go to the 450 to $500,000 price group, we have also the same issue. And then of course, as they kind of meet, there's the supply meets demand at 500 to 550, and then of course it just inverses out over that. So when you look at these properties up until 550, you can definitely see that properties have been really selling in that price group. But of course, above that price range, there's definitely more available for the buyer. And next, we'll look at the northeast section of the city. Okay, so 307 sold listings in the month of April for the Northeast, and those were sold at an average sales price per square foot of $300 a square foot, and the sale price was $367 on average. The median where most people are buying is $297 a foot. How does that compare to last month? Well, last month 279 sales, so sales are definitely up, and we've got the days on market about the same. And the prices per square foot are actually up a little bit, just about $5 a square foot. And the price, so definitely even the prices went up. The average sale price went up, and the sales price per square foot went up. And they were about the same size homes. Now, how does that compare to last year? Last year, 239 sales in the month of April, and they were priced at $255 on the average, on the median price, and on the average $261. So boy, we're almost $40 a square foot higher than we were last year, and they're selling quicker too, because last year they sold in about 30 days on average and 21 days on the median price. How does that compare to our inventory? 409 listings, so we got a little bit over a month's supply out there, and they're priced not too bad, $315 a square foot, and they're about the same size homes. And these list prices were $304 to get $300, so the prices are not very far off the list price to the sales price per square foot. When you look at the list price for the sales price, how that compares, it's also fairly close here too. So what's left on the market is about the same size, but it's priced higher. It's priced a full $15 a square foot higher than where the buyers are really looking. So for some of the people that are left out there on the market may catch you if the market's hot, or these people maybe wait for new listings to show up that are closer to these numbers where they're expecting to buy. Now, when you look at this from different a point of view from different price groups, you'll see that the dark blue line is the sales, and the light blue line is the active listings and the sales from April and what we currently have available. And you'll see that the supply meets the demand almost exactly up until we get to about 350, and then after that we've got more available than we have buyers, and it kind of slides down from there. Of course, not too much selling up there above the 550 mark, and as you go down, you'll see that that in price, you'll see that there's a definite increase. But the highest proponent of sales, we would call this the median sales, would be this 300 to 350 and about 350 to 400. That's where most of your sales are. Okay, so having a look at the overall market here, you can see that sales not really up from last year, not too much really. We look at numbers sold. Last year we sold 3,100 listings in April. This year we sold 3,400 listings. So that's up, we're up, say, 300 listings. That's pretty good, I guess. And the number that we added was 5,300 listings. Last year we added 5,000 listings, so we added a few more listings. And our inventory is at 7,400 last year. And the reason why it's kind of a hot market for all of these sales is that we have a low inventory supply. 7,400 listings, when last year we had 8,700 listings in the same time period. So 7,400 listings is definitely up from where it was. And last month we didn't have very much inventory either. Now our median price $421, $420 this year, and last year was $390. So that's definitely up on the overall. And of course we're up on the averages. I don't like to look at these average numbers too much, only because they don't mean much to me, because they might be in converse to the average price per square foot. Sometimes when you look at the average numbers, it only means that people are buying more expensive homes. It doesn't mean that they're paying more per square foot. So these are pretty interesting numbers. And sales to new listings, as we see the number of listings go up, we'll see that these sales to new listings, the number will go down a little bit. And some of the higher months are usually December, because we don't get a lot of new listings in that month.
By now, you're probably interested in more specific information on the neighborhoods you're looking to buy or sell in. And I know your neighborhood. Give me a call. Back when I started selling real estate, over 90% of the homes I sold were expired listings or homes that other agents couldn't sell. During that time, I learned from my clients the many frustrations that they had selling their homes.
Yeah, we had the home about, twice with some other agencies, and they couldn't sell the house. We don't know why. It's a beautiful house.
There was not any interest shown at all in our home by anybody that came and viewed it.
Too many of the other MLS realtors who'd come show the house, they wouldn't have a clue.
We didn't get any feedback on our showing.
Last time our house was in the market about 3 months, and we never got any offers.
It's for these reasons I have a very detailed approach on the way I sell my clients' homes. But here's what my clients had to say.
We had our house on the market last year for about 6 months, right, Bruce?
Correct.
And it's a high-end house. It's across the street from the park. It was listed at $1,299,000, and we just really didn't get any offers or any traction on the house, and we couldn't figure out why. Our realtor was really good, really nice guy, but we were asking him for more of a marketing plan for the house, and it just didn't seem to come. So in August, we took the house off the market, and we decided to relist the house in January, yeah. And at that point in time, I remember seeing a brochure that Trent had done up, and that brochure from his company explained how he used video from a marketing perspective and all these other marketing techniques to actually move your house on the market. And we were really impressed with it. So we gave him a call and Trent came in. And after we had a short conversation with him, we interviewed 3 other realtors, by the way. And none of them had the marketing strategy that Trent has. So Bruce and I decided, okay, let's take a chance with Trent for 90 days, see what happens. We listed it for the same amount of money, $1,299,000. And luckily, within 36 hours, amazing actually, our house sold at $1,250,000, and we were really happy. When we were interviewing the buyers, they actually shared with us that they saw our house on the market last year, and they looked at the photographs that were on the MLS, but it didn't really tweak their interest, so they just passed it by. They didn't come up to see the house, and they don't live far away. They're only a few blocks away, but nevertheless, they turned it down. And then when they saw Trent's video, they were really excited, and they said, we got to have a look at this house. And they came up, and they were the ones who made the offer and bought the house. So we're really happy for both Claudia and her husband, and for us to have moved this house so quickly. So thank you, Trent. Job well done, very professional.
We had our home listed for 4 months in the fall, and it just didn't sell. We had a little interest at first, but then it just died down. After the new year, we got some information in the mail from Trent, and he was able to show us the advantages of video marketing, and he showed off our home to its best advantage. You know, it's not a show home, it's not a new home, but it's a comfortable home. And he was able to show that and get that information out to lots of people. And we had so many showings. We had, 1 or 2 showings a day. Some days we had so many showings we weren't even able to come home for meals. There was that much interest in our home. Another thing Trent was able to show us was that the market was actually good in November when we had our home listed before, and that was when there was no interest shown in ours. And there were homes selling in this neighborhood for actually less than what we got for ours just this past week. We sold it in about 4 weeks with Trent, and we're really excited to be, we got a price that we're happy with, and moving on.
This is just 2 examples, but in 13 years of marketing homes, I've got hundreds of examples of turnaround situations. High and low-end homes, fixer-uppers, show homes. I've marketed a home just like yours. So call me today for a low-pressure interview to discuss the sale of your home.